Hello! A new video is in the works, a critical analysis of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. And as you can probably tell from the title of this video, it's quite the positive analysis. Once completed, the video will go up as planned, but it's taking longer to put together than I originally estimated. A lot longer. So, I've decided to release the video in sections. This will provide my viewers with content, will hopefully keep the channel alive during the editing process, and will prime everyone as to what to expect from the full video prior to release. Keep in mind that these were meant to be part of a single whole, so there will be incomplete analyses and a lack of conclusions in some parts. Once the full video is out, there will be follow-up videos inspired by it, including another Godzilla vs. Kong analysis. Yay! And one last thing. This introduction will be at the start of each video, so if you want to skip it next time, slide on over to this time here. Right, all that said, I hope you enjoy this section of what will become Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a great joy. We cut to a Senate meeting being given what is flippantly called
a 5th grade history lesson.
I like to think the cut from Mothra to the Mutos was a subtle wink to Godzilla fans who, back when the trailers for Godzilla 2014 came out, thought that the male Muto was going to be Mothra. Anyway, the meeting is over the threat of the Titans and the possible taking over of Monarch by the military. Dr. Zerazawa, head of Monarch, argues for coexistence. Some comparisons are made to old fables.
A sort of symbiotic relationship. The lion and the mouse.
Or the scorpion and the frog.
For those that don't know about the lion and the mouse,
the mouse kills the lion with the thorn.
You do know that story is about a mouse becoming friends with the lion after taking the thorn out of his paw, right? Who told you that, Cole?
My mother.
That actually explains a lot.
Other versions of the tale have the lion trapped in a net, and the mouse nibbles the ropes to free the lion. Either way, the sentiments about mercy and coexistence are there. The Scorpion and the Frog tells the tale of a frog offering a lift across a river to a scorpion, only for the scorpion to sting the frog and kill them both. The reason for this betrayal of trust? The scorpion couldn't help it. It was his nature. Again, the sentiment is clear. The Senate believe humanity to be the frog and the Titans the scorpion. Monarch obviously believes the opposite. Based on what happens later in the film, the latter is closer to the truth. But in looking these stories up, I found an interesting route to the second fable. A much older story tells of a scorpion and a turtle. Again, the turtle offers a lift and the scorpion stings, but the turtle is unharmed. Safely across the river, the turtle questions the scorpion, only for him to offer the same answer. It was in his nature. The turtle comments on the value of trusting someone's base character, and the two go on their ways. This version of the fable offers very different implications, ones that may or may not have been referenced in the film, but I'll get to that later. Back to the events at hand, when discussing coexistence with the Titans, Zerazawa offers this misplaced comment.
So you'd want to make Godzilla our pet?
No. We would be his.
The scene ends with Zerazawa and Dr. Graham leaving, presumably after receiving messages about the Mothra temple attack. Zerazawa's comment and this sudden departure prompts the Senate to offer this warning.
I hope you understand the consequences of walking out that door.
We like to call this foreshadowing. Having left the Senate meeting, we are formally introduced to Mark Russell, who is out wolf watching in the wilderness. The heads of Monarch arrive rather dramatically to inform Mark about the Mothra temple incident and ask him to help them find not only his wife and child but the device Emma used on Mothra, the Orca. They bring him back with them to their secret underground base, along the way allowing him to fill Monarch and us in on his situation with Emma and, in turn, allowing Monarch to inform him and us about the Titans. These scenes culminate in the briefing room at the Monarch base, where we are told who the baddies are and what their possible motives might be for the Mothra temple attack. This set of 4 scenes is topped off with Mark giving his very strong opinion about Monarch's plans and the Titans.
0500 will ship out to launch a joint operation.
I wouldn't bother.
Excuse me?
Sounds like a duck hunt to me.
Apostrophe.
A decoy, a diversion. Why would they want just this one when they've got the keys to your entire magic kingdom of horrors back here?
And to advise us on
I
how you...
advise you to kill these things, all of them, especially him.
Quick side note, the name of this base, Outpost 54, Castle Bravo, is named after the military test site that caused the Lucky Dragon incident in 1954, which inspired the original Gojira film. It still amazes me that the bomb test that inspired Ishiro Honda happened in March and Gojira was released in October. Bloody hell, that's some productivity. Anyway, these 4 scenes take up less than 10 minutes of Godzilla killing the monsters, but they are jam-packed with information. Is this film well-paced, or is it well-paced? Thanks to these scenes we are told about Emma's Orca device.
Emma combined the bioacoustics of different titans to create the Orca's signal. Creatures respond to, attracting them, repelling them, even calming them down. It's pretty remarkable, actually.
The Russells' backstory.
It's the Orca. She believed that if we could somehow replicate the biosonar the Titans used to communicate...
I know what the hell it is. I helped build a prototype.
I joined Monarch shortly after you left. Sorry.
Emma and I destroyed the prototype.
After San Francisco, she went home to Boston, spent years developing it.
Emma always said no one knew the Olga better than you.
When was the last time you spoke to Emma?
About 3 years ago. After San Francisco, we went back home to Boston. Tried to put the pieces back together, and I started drinking.
The Titans and their situations.
How many of these things are there?
17.
17.
Most of them were discovered in deep hibernation, while others we've contained at top secret sites around the globe. They're everywhere.
Emma and I believe some are benevolent.
Monarch and how it has grown since 2014.
Well, this is new.
Yeah, we call it Castle Bravo, our new flagship facility. Built to track and study Godzilla on his own turf.
Who the bad guys are.
Alan Jonah, a former British Army colonel turned eco-terrorist, obsessed with restoring the natural order.
And the effects Titans are having on the world.
Still haven't heard one good reason why these creatures shouldn't be exterminated.
He began trafficking in a new and dangerous market. Titan DNA.
There isn't a country or a company on the planet that doesn't want to get its hands on one of these suckers.
We also get introductions to a lot of characters. Dr. Zarazara and Dr. Graham, who represent Monarch in the Senate hearing. Mark Russell, Emma's husband and the wildlife enthusiast. Coleman.
Who is he?
I'm the head of technology. I joined Monarch shortly after you left.
Stanton, Shen, Martinez, Barnes, Foster. All of them get a word in. Like I said, jam-packed with information and none of it felt forced, with the possible exception of...
We could somehow replicate the biosonar the Titans used to communicate.
I know what the hell it is. I helped build a prototype.
Then again, if we didn't have this, we wouldn't have this reaction, and I love this reaction. It makes me laugh every time I see it. Speaking of, Mark Russell gets plenty of characterization in these scenes. When speaking about Monarch and the Titans, he is snappy and temperamental. Clearly he has a thorn in his side for the monsters that killed his son. Outside of Titan-related conversations, which is rare considering, he is soft-spoken and contemplative, a trait picked up from years of study in wildlife. In these quiet conversations we discover that, despite his frustration and anger at the Titans, his spite is spiked with self-loathing. He was the one trying to save his son, and he failed. This failure led him to fall on bad habits. This self-loathing is potentially made worse by the conversation with Graham.
After San Francisco, we went back home to Boston. Emma dealt with it by doubling down on saving the world, and I started drinking.
And I destroyed the prototype.
And then Emma decided to rebuild it. After San Francisco, she went home to Boston, spent years developing it.
This is the face of a man that has discovered yet another problem with something he already considered bad. That must be how I look when watching Godzilla vs. Kong. The Orca, the Titan manipulating device he has so far damned the existence of, was built under his drunken nose. If he hadn't been drowning in self-pity, he might have been aware enough to do something about it. This man has demons, some of his own making. Mark isn't the only one to get an introduction here. Coleman is a seemingly small character in this film, but his presence is still felt, and even in these few scenes we get a lot out of him. He tries to come across as knowledgeable, tries to raise his own sense of importance in others' eyes, only when he's tested he stumbles and comes off the worse. But his failures detract from his actual importance.
Sam Coleman. I'm the head of technology.
Considering where Monarch was before, piggybacking on other people's expeditions and using their stuff, to where it is now with their own secret underground base, then realise Coleman is in charge of Monarch's technology, you can see why he's grinning like a Cheshire cat. And before I move on to the next set of scenes, I want to pay some compliments to the way information is shared with the audience. Besides the one exchange I've already mentioned, it all feels very natural, every utterance building immersion whilst also delivering exposition about the world and the characters therein. On top of the writing, the visualizations, the environments and the acting get across so much that would otherwise need to be shoehorned in. From learning that Mark and Emma knew each other from at least university before joining Monarch, to how much Monarch itself has expanded, to how characters feel about things, from the subtle to the not so subtle. We are also being filled in on two timelines simultaneously, timelines that separate and converge from one film to the next to keep the Monsterverse one cohesive story. It is a testament to the film that so much information is conveyed so naturally and so well that even casual filmgoers know what's going on without getting lost. Thank you for watching this part of Godzilla King of the Monsters, A Great Joy. Videos will follow on a, hopefully, regular basis until the video is out, so look forward to those. Whilst you're waiting, why not visit my Etsy store and peruse some esoteric pendants, link in the description. Feel free to do all the YouTube stuffs and leave a comment if you have one. Who knows, maybe you'll have an effect on the finished video before it's released. Once again, thank you for watching.